Alright, so they're on the boat and they're talking and they're talking and they're talking and they're talking all the way to Franceytowne, and they get to Paris. And they don't get to Paris. They weren't even going to go to Paris. But they end up going to Paris anyway for two reasons. One, Candide keeps hearing about how great Paris is and how everybody's going to Paris. Two, Voltaire really wanted to write about Paris because he likes Paris a lot. So they go to Paris. And he hears it's a great place full of awesome things, but really what it is a terrible place full of thieves. So there's all of these fucking thieves all over the place, and basically the first thing that happens is Candide gets like really sick and passes out, and so a whole bunch of fake doctors show up who basically like trying to like appear to be helping him while actually just giving him repeated enemas over and over again and bleeding out a lot of his blood and like killing him while making him think that he's so that they can get all his money. And then there's all these chicks there trying to do the same thing, and some people who pretended to be his relatives. Like everybody in fucking Paris shows up to this dude's house because he's so goddamn rich. And Martin's like, man, this didn't happen to me when I was sick in Paris because I'm poor. But anyway, all these dudes are trying to like do shit, and Candide finally recovers and he's like, guys, get the fuck out. And Martin's like, yeah, get the fuck out. And he like tosses some priest out, and the priest's like, I'm gonna call the police. But it doesn't ever. But this other dude shows up whose job is basically just to be a huge twat and lead Candide around the city and like get him to spend all of his money. So that's what this guy's doing. So he leads Candide to like the opera house and the motherfucking dinner parties, and there's a whole bunch of people talking about fucking literature and shit, and it really reminds me of Oscar Wilde, specifically the picture of Dorian Gray, where there's just this one dude who just keeps talking and won't stop talking, and he's just like tremendously clever, but I don't give a fuck. I love Oscar Wilde, but sometimes I just don't give a fuck. But anyway, then all that shit happens, and the dude is like, you know, Candide's an idiot. He's still an idiot. Like, he's become a total badass, but he's still an idiot. So when this dude starts asking him questions about Cunegonde, he like gets all misty-eyed, and he starts telling him about how he really wants to see this chick, and that he's going to Venice in order to see this chick. And bam! Very next day, this asshole writes him a letter from Cunegonde that's like, oh, I'm in the city, I'm so sick, come see me, come see me. And so Candide, like, runs across the city to go see this chick, even though, like, any fucking idiot could figure out that this letter was forged. I mean, come on, use a little bit of common sense. And where is Martin during all of this? Because he's got a little bit of that, but I guess he was off getting his dick sucked or something. Which is what I think happens to a lot of characters who talk sense into other characters at certain points in dramas. But anyway, he goes over to this other place, and there's this big bed with like curtains around, and Candide's like, let me pull aside the curtains so I can see her. And they're like, nope. And they're like, let me turn on the light. And they're like, nope, light'll kill her. He's like, oh, well, can I talk to her? And they're like, no, she's too sick to talk and, or hear. And so then somebody who's in there, clearly not Cunegonde, but they stick out their fat ass hand, and Candide like cries on it and then fills it with diamonds, because that's what I do when I just see some hand come out. I'm like, here's diamonds! And then he leaves like a whole bunch of gold there, and then all of a sudden this fake fucking police officer busts in like, oh, motherfucker! And Candide's like, oh fuck, it's a police. And Martin is like, dude, this isn't a real police officer. This is just some fucking dude. And Candide's like, oh, well, in that case, fuck it, dude. Here, have some money. And he gives the dude like 3,000 bucks. And the guy's like, oh, man, you're totally innocent. How did I not realize this before? Yeah. And then they talk for a little while, and Candide's like, you know what? Fuck this. Just fuck Paris. I really need to get to Venice. Dude, I just gave you like 3,000 or 9,000 bucks or something. Can you get me to Venice? And he's like, I can get you halfway, but then you gotta pay my brother, who's some jackass, to take you the rest of the way in a boat. And Candide's like, yeah, sure, fine, whatever. So they get on a boat. He pays more money to some other dude. He just has a fucking infinite supply of money. Like, no matter how many times he gets swindled, no matter how many times he gets robbed, he just reaches into that infinite sack in his pants, and he just keeps pulling out riches. Bitches and riches. Not bitches, just riches. His life is extremely bitchless. But anyway, they get on the boat, and they go to England for some reason. That's not how you get to Venice. But anyway, they go to England. And in England, like, the first thing they see before they even get on the shore is some admiral getting executed for not fighting hard enough. And Candide's like, you know what, I don't even want to go into England. I don't even want to get off the boat. Can you just take me to Venice, dude? And the dude's like, you gotta give me even more money. And Candide's like, fuck it, whatever, man. And just gives him some more money. and fucking gets back on they stay on the boat, they go to Venice, he gets to Venice, and fucking guess what? Cacambo and Cunegonde are nowhere to be found. Like, they've had like 12 million months to get here while Candide was off fucking about in like France and El Dorado and whatnot and all this shit. But no, they're not here. And Martin's like, dude, what the fuck did you expect? You fucking gave that dude like $6 million and you're like, yeah, go search the entirety of South America for my lady love and bring her to me in Venice. Yeah, no. Either that dude took Cunegonde for himself, or he just fucking got some other bitch and set up kingdom somewhere else. And Candy's like, man, you're so pessimistic. And the dude is like, look, only shitty things have happened. Ever. And Candy's like, well, oh, no, wait! What about those two people over there? There's this really hot chick with some monk, and they look like they're having a great time. And Martin's like, nah, dude, invite them to dinner. It'll turn out that they're both shitty and miserable. And Candy's like, alright, so he goes over and he's like, hey guys, wanna come to dinner? And they're like, whoa, what the fuck? Yeah, sure. And then the chick sees him, and she's like, hey, wait, what the fuck? Don't you recognize me? I'm the maid from the castle at the beginning of the story. The one who gave Professor Pangloss the scythe. And Candide's like, oh, fuck, hey, what's up? And she's like, oh, well, I'm a prostitute now. And Candide's like, what? And she's like, yeah, well, you know, I was like injured, and then this doctor nursed me back to health. In exchange, I had to fuck him for a long time, and then his wife got pissed off, so he poisoned her, and then he went to jail, and then I went to jail for no reason, and fucking the judge was like, I'll let you out if you have more sex with me, so I was like, sure, and then he got bored of me and picked up some other chick, and so now I have to be a prostitute all the time, and it sucks. It's horrible. I'm miserable. And Martin's like, what did I tell you, man? What the fuck did I tell you? And Candy's like, shut up, man, shut up. The other dude's probably perfectly happy. So he goes over to the other dude, the monk, and he's like, I bet you're pretty happy, right? And the monk's like, nope, I fucking hate being a monk. I want to set all the monks on fire. And Candy's like, God damn it, Martin. And Martin's like, yeah, bitch, yeah. So then, you know, Candide is like pretty upset about all this, but he gives them all some money because apparently money just solves everybody's problems, even though it doesn't really. But they leave. And then Candy's like, all right, man, but I heard that there's some dude in Italy, right, who's a senator, who's, like, super happy all the time. And Martin's like, well, I guess we better fucking go and see him then. And so they go and see this dude, and it turns out that this dude is just a complete prick cactus. Like, there's nothing that he likes. He just doesn't like, I mean, in his house, like, he has all these sweet paintings and, like, an orchestra, a fucking garden, and he's like, whatever. Doesn't give a shit about any of that stuff. He goes into his library and there's a whole long section where he's like, Homer sucks. Fucking Cicero sucks. Horace sucks. Fucking Paradise Lost. What the fuck is that shit? Just some fucking Satans and stuff. It took him 10 books to write a version of the first book of Genesis. What the balls? What the balls, my friend? And so he hates pretty much all literature and all everything else. And Candy's like, whoa, man, this dude must be pretty happy if he hates everything. And Martin's like, seriously? You're fucking shitting me, right? That's not how that works. And then Candide starts crying again because he remembers that Cunegonde isn't there and he can't find her anywhere. But the rest is a story for another time.